First off, in our letter writing unit, I'm going to teach you how to write a personal letter and an email. The most important thing to remember when writing a letter or anything is who your audience is. A formal letter or an informal letter are going to look very different. So for a formal letter, you need to include your mailing address in the upper right-hand corner, and then the address of the business or person you're writing to the left. We'll get into the format of that when we look at addressing an envelope, but it's always going to include name, street address, city, state, zip code. You're also going to want to make sure that if it's going to a business, that it's written attention to whoever you want it to get to. The next thing would be the formal greeting. So you could write to whom it may concern, or since you know that it's going to Higgins, you could say, Dear Mr. Higgins, comma. So to whom it may concern has the colon after it. The dear whoever has a comma after it. Once you start to actually write the letter, you're going to make sure you indent that first line. And in your intro paragraph, you just want to say why you're writing. So it's an introduction to the letter. And then any body paragraphs, you want to make sure they're also indented whenever you change topics. Whenever you talk about something new, you start a new body paragraph. When you're ready to close your letter, you want to make sure you have a closing paragraph as well, where you kind of state what your purpose was again, to reiterate it before the end. And then you want to put your little sign-off closing, so sincerely, comma, and then space down so there's a place for your signature so you can print out and actually sign it, and then type below that your name and your position. So now we're going to look at addressing the envelope. So just like I said, we talked about addresses before. Your address will be your name, and then underneath, if you're writing from an organization, if not, you just leave that off, the street number, the actual street name, the city or town, and then comma, ME, so you can use the state abbreviation, and then the zip code. So each of those things is on a new line. So on the envelope, that's in the upper left-hand corner. On your actual letter, it would be the upper right-hand corner. Who it's going to goes in the middle on the envelope, or the left when you are doing the actual letter. And here you can see I have the business, but then attention Mr. Higgins. And also you'll notice I have a number 201, which is the apartment number. You would include this for any places that have specific apartments or units. And then in the top upper right, you have the stamp. Sometimes you'll need to add more stamps depending how thick the envelope is and how heavy. If I was writing an informal letter, parts of it are the same, where we still have the intro and conclusion paragraphs and the body paragraphs, and we still have that greeting, but everything is just less formal. So it's just Dear Dan, or it could be Hello Dan, and then at the bottom it's See you soon, Abby, as opposed to Sincerely, Abigail Kavaya. And you can think of emails as just little letters. So that's what it's saying is E, so electronic mail. So it is a letter. So same thing, you're going to address it to the person. You don't need to have an address because that's what the email address is for, is who it's going to, but you're addressing, hello, Mrs. Kavaya, comma, you say why you're writing, what's going on, be very specific in the email, and then thank you and your name. Then you can see that I respond back just the person's name, and then that shows you that you can be a little less formal the next time around, and then the very last one just says thank you. So you can continue to move down in formality the more you send the same person emails over and over again. And that's only if they start to escalate it down. If I replied back in the same formal manner, then you'd want to make sure you kept it formal throughout. And this is only in emails that are all in one reply thread. So those are personal letters, and we'll move on to the next type of letter.